Hey guys, it's Erica Galinas with Century 21 Affiliated in Cherville, Indiana, here for our weekly market update. This week we're talking about Crown Point. Like I always split them into two. Crown Point Center Township, which is the square and those kinds of areas, and then Winfield and Crown Point, which obviously is kind of a much different real estate market than what we have in downtown Crown Point. So we'll go ahead and start with Center Township. I'm doing 2 months, catch up on February and then the March numbers, so that'll bring us up to date in April. In January, we sold 47 units for a total of $14.6 million, average price of about $312,000. Moving to February, 38 units sold for a total of $13.3 million in Crown Point Center Township with an average sales price of $351,117. So that was up about $40,000. Average days on market, 24 days. It was 17 in January, 24 days in February. Looking to March, 49 total houses sold for $15.9 million, gives us an average price of about $325,000. So that's down about $26,000. Average days on market, 21 days. So those are pretty straightforward numbers. We had a big jump between January and February, which kind of makes sense. It depends a little bit on like which kinds of houses sold. Obviously, if there's more and more expensive houses, you know, that average is going to go up. We have less buyers and sellers, but less buyers in January than in February, March, and then April, May, all the spring and summer market. So no big surprises here with these numbers. There is a headline news in Crown Point Center Township, but we'll get to that. So pending listings in Crown Point Center Township right now, meaning that a house was listed, it has a buyer, hasn't closed yet. 98 pending listings in Center Township, Crown Point. Of that 98, 39 of them are new construction, mostly townhomes and duplexes that they're building near I-65, and there's a couple little spots, Sawgrass is one of them. All of these townhomes and duplexes, they're selling like hotcakes. 39 new construction, 59 existing homes. We won't know until they close, but the average listing price for these pending listings is $386,000. So that's about $60,000 more than what we had as an average in March. Again, we won't know if they close that high or even higher potentially, but as of right now, $386,000 is the average list price for those pending listings. Average days on market, 18 days, which includes new construction. I usually pull those out to get a better picture. New construction hangs along for a while. 13 days on market for existing homes. So there is not a big difference between new construction timing and existing home timing, which is kind of interesting. Active listings in Center Township, Crown Point, and this is kind of where we get into our headline news. Active listings, 38 active listings. Again, that includes all kinds of houses. Of that 38, 25 are new construction. Again, those townhomes and duplexes and everything, which means in all of Center Township, there are only 13 active listings in Crown Point Center Township as of today. The average list price, $429,000. So a significant jump between our average close price in March and our average list price for these active listings. So here's the interesting part. As I said, days on market, I take out new construction because those hang around for a while. Average days on market in Center Township, Crown Point for existing homes as of today is 76 days. Weird. I mean, usually we're looking at 4 days, maybe 12, averages 21 last month. I dug into this to kind of get the headline news on this. Regular, affordably priced things are selling pretty quick. Not the 4 days that we saw last summer, but 10 days, 9 days, 12 days, kind of maybe 2 weeks tops. Stuff that is more expensive is sitting, and not necessarily $600,000-$700,000 homes, although those obviously are part of it as well. But even houses that are at $429,000 or $360,000. Those homes, depending on how they're priced, location, number of bedrooms, stuff like that, those homes are now sitting on average 76 days. So we have this kind of little glut of homes in Center Township. Regularly priced ones are flying off the shelves. The ones that are overpriced, they're sitting. Part of it is we haven't yet hit the spring market. Everything's slower in wintertime. Everybody knows that. But part of it is that the buyers are looking at these houses and being like, well, these are really nice houses. It checks a lot of my boxes. but I'm not paying $550,000 for a relatively ordinary, 10-year-old, house with 4 bedrooms. They're done. They're not doing it. They're going to other areas. They are staying home. They're signing a lease for another year. It is going to be interesting to see what happens in Crown Point Center Township. Again, well-priced homes are going to just keep going. 76 days on the rest of these is going to become 79 days and 84 days and 110 days or something like that, particularly since we're going to start see, in theory, more listings this spring in Center Township. Just spring market, people are going to start selling about 6 weeks, something like that. So these houses are just going to continue to sit until the sellers realize that what they want for these houses, they're apparently not going to get them. The way we will know is that days on market will hang around 76. If it goes down to 30, then we know that things have loosened up. Sellers can always do price reductions and stuff like that. But if it keeps going up, then we know that there is a top number that people are going to pay for certain kinds of houses in Center Township, Crown Point. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Turning to Winfield, another top story here that we'll get to. In Winfield, so this is east of downtown Crown Point, Lakes Four Seasons area, Doubletree, all that new construction that's going on. Total units, so for January, 13 units sold, average sales price $391,000. In February, we sold 14 units of real estate, $5.8 million, which gives us an average sales price in Winfield of $429,005. Average days on market, 35 days. There was only 4 new constructions. There's tons of new constructions in other places, but in terms of closing, there was only 4 because, it was wintertime and they have to dig the holes and everything like that. In March, 8 homes were sold in Winfield. All of Winfield. There were 2 of them were new construction. The other 6 were people's regular houses, townhouses, duplexes, giant mansions. 8 houses sold in all of Winfield in the month of March. Total volume only $3.6 million, which gives us an average price of $459,000, which is a pretty sweet average price range. Obviously, it's $40,000 more than it was in February. Average days on market, 22 days, down from 35 days in February. So things are, the 5 houses they sold or whatever it was, sold pretty fast. Let's do this. Pending listings in Winfield, 26 pending listings. Average price, $386,000. Like I said, we're not going to know if that changes or anything like that until they actually close. Average days on market, 13 days. So it's shorter, closer to January, but, we're still in that same realm of what we had in, the past 3 months. Of that 26, 8 are new construction, 18 existing homes. So the stuff that's hitting the market that's already built is selling fast, just like Center Township. Active listings. There are 17 active listings in all of Winfield. Like I said, mansions, condos, new construction, 100 years old, whatever it is. Of that 17, 13 are new construction. There are only 4 existing homes of any kind in Winfield for sale. The end. Average price, listing price is $412,000. Average days on market, 87 days. That is mostly made up of new construction. So, there's the 4 that are out there average on like 30 days or something like that. But 87 days is new construction. So, top story, I will say, Crown Point Winfield wins for the least inventory in our area at this time. There are 4 houses for sale. That's it. The end. New construction and existing home prices and averages are about the same. Because there's such low inventory in Winfield, new construction does not necessarily fetch a premium because the existing houses, not everybody wants new construction. They don't like the style. A lot of people find it kind of boring. They don't want to wait for the house to be built. So existing homes can be attractive to certain buyers far more than new construction. So you usually see new construction a little bit more expensive. No, we're almost exactly even on our stats for new construction and existing homes in Winfield, and that is because there's 4 houses for sale. The end. This is not necessarily bad news for Winfield. It's terrible news for buyers. Obviously, buyers are not going to, maybe they want to move to Winfield. There's literally almost nothing for sale. I'm sure these 4 houses will be flying off the market by the end of the day. So the danger for sellers in Winfield, danger is a strong word, but the possible downside for sellers is that buyers are going to start to look elsewhere. If they're coming in from Illinois, they like Winfield because there's the new 109th exit off I-65, and they're like, well, there's only 4 houses. there, the average price is 430,000. Forget it. I'm going to look in Dyer. I'm going to look in St. John, all that new construction. I'm going to look in Cedar Lake or Lowell. If I'm going to drive that extra 15 minutes to 109th, I might as well drive 15 minutes down 41 to get to Lowell, Cedar Lake, those kinds of areas. This is potentially bad news for sellers, and I've talked about this in other videos. As these buyers start to stay home, as these buyers decide that these houses aren't worth this constant market, increase, it's going to affect sellers. It's great for the real estate market because it's buyers and sellers, because right now we're all lopsided here. We want everything to kind of even out right here. Looks like anyway, we are beginning that process, which, like I said, is good news for everybody, because even if you have the most out of control sales price for your house, that's awesome. You still got to live somewhere. So you're going to be screwed over as a buyer as much as you had an advantage as a seller. So we did, I think, Dyer last week. We talked about Cherville. We are starting to see these days on the market get a little bit longer. We're starting to see, some of these higher priced houses, not mansions, but houses that would normally be, 250,000 are now priced at 400,000. We're starting to see those houses kind of hang out on the market a little bit, get a little bit stale. So we'll see what happens with our spring market and the amount of inventory that we get. I'm sure there's more than 4 buyers looking in Winfield right now. So, this isn't necessarily going to happen overnight, but it's something to keep an eye on. Again, super high prices and low inventory can be fine for sellers, but I think we're at the point where it's starting to become a negative. So we'll keep an eye on those numbers, not just in Crown Point, Winfield, but obviously all the areas I talk about. If you like this video, thank you so much. Please please subscribe to my channel. I do these every week. Next week, we are talking about St. John. Lots of new construction over there, so we'll kind of see if we're catching up on some of those winter numbers that had stalled because of the weather. If you know somebody, if you live in Winfield, somebody lives in Winfield, somebody wants to move to Winfield, please share this video with them. If you or anybody else has any questions about not just Winfield and Center Township, but I work all 4 counties, please give me a call or text me anytime, 219-765-2062. You can also email me if you prefer at hsbyerica@gmail.com. That stands for Home Sales by Erica. And I will see you guys next week. Thanks. Hey guys, I'm glad you're enjoying my videos. If you have any questions about buying or selling, but I'm not in your area, I have connections to an international network of realtors who would be happy to help. Give me a call, text me anytime, 219-765-2062. I'll be happy to give you the name of a realtor in your area. Thanks.